You are now watching the T.R.A.P stars.
Zion, what's going on, brother? You have a question, fam? No? Praise to the Most High. Where you from? You from Miami or no?
Texas.
Texas. Shout out Texas. Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. Shout out to Dallas in the building. Praise the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Are you a Cowboys fan?
Goddamn right, boy. You was going okay, though.
Since Terrell Owens, huh? It says T.O.
Shit, Emmett, yeah. Since Troy, he don't know no better.
Yeah, I'm too young for that. I'm too young for that. What's your ethnicity, brother, if I may ask?
What I look like?
Well, I mean, the color of your skin ain't your ethnicity, so.
Texas, what I look like?
I would say probably African American.
Yeah, right.
Right?
We don't got a lot of
well, no, you got.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you got Mexicans over there too, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans. Shit, you know what I'm saying? But real quick, right? So you see on the sign, right? We got so-called African Americans, we got Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, etc. Right? I say so-called, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because above African American, what you see? You see Judah. That's the actual ethnicity of who we are. Above Dominican is Simeon. That's what we really are. We're not Dominicano. That's a Latin name, right? That's a Latin name. Before Hispaniola was called Hispaniola, what was it called? It wasn't called that till the Spaniards and Portuguese got there and started rape, robbing, and murdering everybody.
Yeah.
So we can't be called Dominican and Puerto Rican because we weren't even speaking that language. We are actually the Hebrew Israelites. We're God's chosen people, right? We descend from people like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, John the Baptist. Jesus is your brother. You feel me? Right? So I'm going to read just 2 scriptures because I want y'all to continue to have your great night. This is just going to be a paramount to the night in addition to the great night, right? Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
You see that? Right? God has these adjectives. He calls us holy, he calls us special, and he calls us chosen. Read.
Above all people.
What?
Above all people.
It says that we are above all people. So when we take Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, Tobago, etc., we make up these people that God is talking about who is above everybody else.
So are we Jew or are we circumcised or uncircumcised?
I mean, physically, some of us are circumcised and uncircumcised.
Okay, so
now, spirit, real quick.
Galatians 2 and tell me where we fit in Galatians 2:13.
Okay, will do. If I may finish answering your question. Now, spiritually speaking, right, some people have been circumcised of their heart. Others are still uncircumcised of the heart. That is the whole point of why we have to come out here to recircumcise. Because even in Jeremiah, it tells us that Judah has become like Edom and Moab and has an uncircumcised ear, uncircumcised heart because we don't listen. We don't keep God's commandments, right? Now let's go to Galatians. Let's real quick, right? 2 and 13. Praise the Lord.
Where it talks about the split. It talks about Paul going to the uncircumcised.
Where Paul rebukes Peter. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Amen.
Uncircumcised and Peter's going to the
Yes, sir.
So where do we fit in that?
I'm gonna tell you right now. You said verse 13, yeah? Start at 11.
So the Galatians chapter 2 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face, because he was to be blamed.
Fake.
For before,
Right. He's playing 2 sides. Right, go ahead.
For before that certain came from James, he did eat with the Gentiles.
He did eat with the Gentiles, read.
But when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself,
When the Jews
fearing them which were of the circumcision. And the other Jews dissembled likewise with him, insomuch that Barnabas also was carried away with their dissimulation.
Right, and because of that, Barnabas was also affected by what Peter did, right? So that's why Paul had to rebuke him. So now to answer your question, are we of the circumcision or uncircumcision? Are we the Gentiles or are we the Jews? The Gentiles, right, are still Jews that don't keep the Jewry. Does that make sense? Are you feel?
What James said, yeah.
Exactly. So Jews that have been scattered abroad, right? Let me get Acts 2 and 5, right? Because this is in the midst of the Acts of the Apostles. You understand? So we have Jews, for example, yourself, right? What's your name, brother?
My name is Andrew Dixon, bro.
Andrew, right? So you, right? I don't know, maybe prior to this you did hear this information, but a lot of brothers still call themselves African Americans, Puerto Ricans, etc. They would be considered Gentiles because they have no idea of this, right? They may be physically circumcised, but they're not of the circumcision because they're not practicing what God requires them to practice, right? Go ahead.
The book of Acts, chapter 2 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews.
What?
Jews.
Read.
Devout men. Out of every nation.
Out of where?
Out of every nation.
Out of every nation. So when we see the word
under heaven.
That was the end of the verse.
Yeah, like, read through. Read.
I'm gonna have them read through. Okay. Yeah, no, that's my purpose. I got you. Right? So we see Jews are everywhere on this earth. You understand? And now later, as we continue to read, we're going to see that these same Jews, they were just called Jews, right? Now keep reading.
Verse 6. Now when these was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language.
So these people that came from other nations, they heard the disciples speaking in their own language, right? They're speaking in tongues. They're speaking different languages.
They're speaking French, English.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Spanish.
Yes.
Whatever language.
Wherever they're coming from, they're speaking, and they're confounded about it. Because it's like, yo, how'd they know? You know what I'm saying? And they think they were tripping. They're crazy, right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galatians?
Galileans.
And how hear we every man in our own tongue?
Read.
Wherein we were born. Parthians.
So these same Jews they were just called Jews, now they're being called Parthians. Read.
And Medes.
And now they're being called Medes. Right? Read.
And Elamites.
And now they're being called Elamites. Right? So this is to demonstrate.
Had they been called Christians yet? Had they been called?
No, that's not till like. That's not like Acts 13 or so.
Yeah,
give or take. Yeah, right. Stephen, right? Well, Stephen, right? But that's to demonstrate.
They're still Jews at this point. They're all still Jews.
Yes. But the point is to identify that a Jew can also be a Gentile. A Gentile.
I don't know when that happens right there. Show me again when that happens right there. When a Jew can be a Gentile, my brother.
I'm going to finish explaining.
Okay, go ahead.
Because remember, in verse 5.
The reason I say that is because I don't remember a Jew being able to be a Gentile until Paul introduces Jews, Gentiles into the nation.
Paul has no authority on when the term is used. This is a historical term that's been used prior to Paul writing, prior to Paul even existing on the earth.
Who else spoke to Gentiles before?
Peter was the first one sent to Gentiles. That's number one.
He was the first one to clarify that Gentiles would be spoken to.
No. He was sent to the Gentiles first. He declares.
Where does God send Peter to the Gentiles?
Give me Acts 15.
Acts 15 is when they get into the argument, and it's when James and Paul get into an argument saying,
I'm going to read it from Peter's own mouth.
Okay.
But because now we're derailing the conversation.
Paul is already in there, right?
This is. Yes, Paul is.
15.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I didn't say that.
Already received the message.
I didn't say that Paul never received the message.
Well, before Paul receives the message, no one else receives the message. Is what I'm saying.
No, that.
Peter gets it from Cornelius, right, brother?
Okay.
He gets it from Cornelius.
Cornelius, yes.
Gets it from Cornelius. It is Paul that was set on the message to speak to the Gentiles.
Okay. Well, we're gonna see what the Bible says.
You're right. My bad.
Okay.
You're right.
Acts 15, then all the multitude. Where does it say Peter spoke? Right here, verse 6 and 7.
Chapter 15 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
And the apostles and elders came together for to consider of this matter. And when there had been much disputing, Peter rose up and said unto them, Men and brethren, ye know how that a good while ago God made choice among
Hold on. Let him. So I didn't want to.
Okay.
No, that's fine.
So-
I'm sorry.
So
I didn't know I was going to intrigue him so much. I love this, brother. I love this right here.
say it again.
Verse 6 and 7, please.
The book of Acts, chapter 15 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
And the apostles and elders came together for to consider of this matter.
All right.
And when there had been much disputing, Peter rose up and said unto them, Men and brethren, ye know how ye know how that a good while ago God made choice among us, that the Gentiles,
That the who?
that the Gentiles,
Read.
by my mouth,
By what?
All right, first and foremost, I'd like to give call hello, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Of course, that's all praises to the Most High God in His only begotten Son's name, who the world calls Jesus Christ. It's your brother Mataz Allah alongside.
That's awkward. Anyways, can you hear me now?
Okay.
All right. So,
Alongside.
Brother Robbie outside. Oh, you didn't hear me again?
Yeah, I hear you now, though. And I guess you're not using your mic?
Oh, that is probably the... Oh, wow. Yeah, I am not.
Sound like you're in a broom closet or something.
What about now?
Yeah, that's better. We're here again on another Monday night, bringing out the words of the Most High God in truth and sincerity to the best of our ability that the Most High God, Yahweh, has blessed us with. Shalom, shalom to everybody in the chat. Good to see my brothers and sisters in here early, because if you're here early, that means you're on time. And if you're on time, that means you're late. All right, let's see who got first in the chat. We got Mosquito 304. Interesting. Shalom.
Shout out to the 304s.
You see, they're gonna make it in the kingdom before a lot of you also. You know what I'm saying? Don't make fun of them. All right, who else? Who got next? Our beloved brother Yamershawn, another beloved member. Good to see you, family, as always. And we got our brother America is Burning, made it in here on time. All praises to the Most High. All right, who else we got? Of course, our beloved chief sister Dione Israel's in the house. Another beloved member, Shalom family, always a pleasure. Of course, our beloved brother out of Jackganistan, Jacksonville, Florida, Shapacha in the house. Shalom King, running things up there in Trapganistan. Good to see you as always, fam. Let's see. And let's see, Melina's on the road, but she's a member and one of our moderators, so we're not going to give her any push-ups while she's driving. She's also the writer, director, creator, and editor of Hebrew Kids TV. Remember, that's all one word on YouTube, Hebrew Kids TV. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave comments today.
My royalty, my God, he spoiled me, brought it into my city. Brought it into my city. After all of God's creation, he rested on the Sabbath day and sanctified it. Now every plant and herb on the earth grew and grew because he had no man to till the land or care for it. So God formed a man from the dust of the earth and breathed the breath of life in his body, and he became a living soul. The Lord planted a garden on the east called Eden and placed that man there. The Garden of Eden had been made with many trees, with fruits, and also the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And God commanded Adam, saying, all the trees in the garden are good to eat, but the tree of knowledge of good and evil he couldn't eat because he would die.
Look at Sheba back there.
God brought every animal to Adam,
Been here
and
since the
Adam
beginning.
named
I'm telling you,
all
it's the
living
foundation.
creatures. Now God looked at Adam and said, "It's not good for a man to be alone. I will make him a helpmeet."
Ugh.
So one night, God
Lord.
made Adam fall into a deep
That rabbit is
sleep
a
and
Matazallah
took one
sister.
of his ribs
I
and
don't know
made
about that.
a
My sisters
woman,
aren't that nice.
which God brought to Adam. And her name was Eve, and she was his wife. And they were naked.
Yo,
and
I just
not
actually
ashamed.
heard what you said.
One day in the garden,
Right.
there was a serpent, one of the sneakiest beasts of the field. And he spoke to her and said that she could eat of the tree of knowledge and she wouldn't die.
Yeah,
She would be like the gods, knowing good and evil.
See, black woman's God.
Eve looked at the fruit and saw how good it looked and desired it to have.
All right, that's enough of black woman.
That's all right. So if you haven't subscribed to Hebrew Kids TV, subscribe to the Black Woman's channel. Go to YouTube, type in all of this one word, Hebrew Kids TV. That's Hebrew Kids TV on YouTube. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave comments today. All right. Let's see who. Well, I guess nobody else made it in on time, but Shalom. So I see a bunch of members coming in here. Shashawan's in the house. Tribe of Issachar. Good to see my family. All praises to the Most High. And speaking of Melina, real quick, just so you all know, Melina and I have been playing Borderlands 2 on Twitch. We should be on tomorrow night if you guys want to come hang out and, you know what I'm saying, just chill, have some fun. It's a very funny game. So
at Rude Richie.
Yeah, that's Rude Richie on Twitch. Y'all should know. Rude Richie with 2 E's at the end instead of IE. All right. All right. So turn it over to our beloved brother, Rob Yawasap, the Trap God, TG Stand Up. What you got going on tonight, brother?
All praises. Rude boy. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. We give that praise, that honor, that glory in the name of his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Christ Jesus. All right, make sure you all are hitting the like button and sharing the video. Make sure you are all sharing the video and hitting the like button. All right, let's go ahead and start spamming the prayer hand emojis in the chat. Let's go ahead and start spamming the prayer hand emojis in the chat. Praying for our people, praying for our land, praying for our land, and praying for our people, praying for physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, agricultural, and financial health with stability. And let's make sure we are doing so again by Hashem, Hamashiach Yahushua. Starting off with the elders.
Really quick, just a thank you to everybody that's been putting up prayers for me. I just locked in a solid 5 pounds, like really fast. And it's not like water weight or just, actually putting on mass, and I feel healthy, really strong and healthy, and I'm feeling better every day. And the water to everybody that's been out there praying for me, I'm feeling a lot better, and health has been trending in the right direction. Also, please, if you all would put up special prayers for our brother Abayar. He's dealing with a few things, so please shout out to that powerful brother there. If you all could put up some special prayers for our beloved brother Abayar. But the water, as always, for your prayers. The Most High has really been answering them.
Khan, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. We give that praise, that honor, that glory in the name of his only begotten Son, Mashiach Yahushua. Again, let's go ahead and start spamming the prayer hand emojis in the chat. Let's go ahead and start spamming the prayer hand emojis in the chat, praying for our people, praying for our land, and praying for our people, praying for physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, agricultural, financial health with stability, and doing so by Hashem Yahushua. Keep those 5 pounds on by Hashem Yahushua.
Oh, Lord willing.
Starting off with the elders, Zaquan Rapaya, Zaquan Dabora, Zaquan Deshaun, Zaquan Brother Douglas, Zaquan Yapaja, Zaquan Brenda, Elder Priest Zabak, Chief Sister Tanya and her family, her Aunt Angel, her daughter-in-law Marquita, and her sons Cameron and Dewan. Then we have Chief Sister Princess Erica and her family, her brother Tazama, her brother Eric, her son Jalen, and her daughter Sister Holly. We have Chief Sister Joni Israel and her husband, her son Jaden, June, Angel, and his wife Anna. Brother Magan Israel and family, Sister Matazakian family, Sister Nayana and family, Azariah family, Brother Mayash Allah's Ribs family, Brother Ali Shai's family, Tonio and family, J Dubs and family, Lahag and family, Papa and family, Yamershan and family, Sister T.R.A.P and family, Yolanda Caesar and family, Brother Hazaz's mother, Brother Nashah's mother Heidi, Hosea Israel's mother Elizabeth, Brother Amariah's grandmother Daisy, Brother Namar and his mother Edith, Brother Jay and his mother Iris, Chief Sister Allah Aisha's father Mark, the house of Matthew, the house of Quatazab Allah, the house of Shemaiah and family, Cadiz and Disla family, Brother Tazahab daughter Tiffany, Chief Sister Tanya, Chief Sister Princess Erica, Chief Sister Teresa, Chief Sister Shalimar, Chief Sister Dione Israel, Chief Sister Melina, Chief Sister Allah Aisha, Chief Sister Charity, Chief Sister Romanica Wade, Sister Edna, Baby Annalise, Sister Sharon, Colette, Kalia, Mashara, Dorel, Saparia Perez, Adasa, Laela, Mila, Katana, Jay, Kayal, Layla and family, Masala, Tati, Aaliyah and family, Lilibeth, Adriana, Kwane, Adani, Melina, Kayla Duckworth, Michaela, Juanita, Bianca, Mariah, Izaria, Azariah, Roxy, Clarissa, Cheryl, Tracy, Donna Epps, Ashley, Sierra, Loretta and Christina, Nakwa, Summer, Evan and Leandre, Desiree, Nevaeh, and Sister Rochelle, Brother Willie, Carmelo Anthony, Zarak, Jeremiah, Adorium, Yawasap, Luke, Iwa, Joseph, Naquam, Priest Alazar Banloya, Priest Akab, Brother Assad, Atasvione, Avi, Wedden, Jay, Amadazalab, Kawapam, Patrick, Yuwanathan, Athapinder, Meshach, Isaiah Allah, Nakash, Paris, DeMarco, Quentin, Juan, Banya, Amariah, Gawad, Kashayel, Rapa Allah, Tribe of Issachar, Mahar, Cordell, Famous Richard, Aishel Speed, Kaisanat, Rob, Jesus, Ayara, Tawash, Gomaria, Ant, Mayak Allah, Hayaman, Aina, Dakar, Isaiah, Raquam, Dagar, Yaquab, Quadar, Joaquim Jones, Nagai, Thabawan, and Son Nathan, Zaram, Sayad, Aliyah, Tazayar, Tazar, Abayar, Rakawam, Alazabad, Ashaya, Kananaya, Kapayar, Joe, Dwayne Scott, Vincent, Zayan Rakad, Jaden, Kylan, Nakwai, Sha'ar, Amawan, Ariella, Ahaziah, Rawajaza, Korabia, Kanaya Allah, Lamu Allah, Gazar, Gazar, and daughter Ayani, Jonathan Montague, King Katora, Quatazab, Yasiel, Moses, Ramamoth, Abraham, Zion, Shashawan and family, Brandon Green and Ayur Green, Deshaun Robertson, Christian Navarro, Yadi, Jacquees, Yatab, Shapacha and daughter Ariana, Sharian, Shariad, Ashdath, Aliyadad, Tony, Hosea Israel, Taza, War Allah, Yakal, Warrior, Alana Kamaya, Tazalium, Alan Cupid, Gawan, Yazanai, Hassan, Alan Rusko, and Brother Tyrone. Some of the camp schools and ministries, we have Sakari, the Light of Zion, Sons of Thunder, Watchmen for Israel, Great Millstone, House of Bread, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, Israel United in Christ, Genesis Israelites, House of Israel, Masada, the Refiners, Gaborim, Alpha Omega Clan, Ram Gadal Gabarian, Believers of the Way, Sons of Jacob, Hebrew Excellence, Jeshurun Camp, Living Waters, Servants of YHWH Ministries Incorporated. Last, most certainly not least, the land of Israel itself, from the Nile to the Euphrates, from the Euphrates to the Nile. We are praying for our people. We are praying for our land. We are praying for our land. We are praying for our people. Praying for physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, agricultural, financial health with stability, and we are doing so by Hashem Yahweh. All right, again, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. The one that looks like this with a thumbs up, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Share the video. All right, share the video. Share it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads. Share to any chat that you in. Share the video, share the video, share the video. All right. Just like any and every other live class that we do, we look to raise a minimum of 50 super chats that can be as low as 99 cents. We look to raise a minimum of 50 super chats that can be as low as 99 cents. All right. If you believe and have received a blessing, either you and or your household from these ministries, please sow into the mission, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you are sowing into the mission. All right. Prayerfully, 50 people can get $50 on a monthly basis. Of course, the support would help continue the work and serving the people. The Cash App itself, you can give yourself, you can share this information for others to also give, and please keep us in prayer. The Cash App is $SERVYHWH. Again, $SERVYHWH. The Zelle is 786-771-0114. 786-771-0114. Also, ladies and gentlemen, the Feast of Tabernacles is approaching. The Feast of Tabernacles is approaching. All right. Make sure you tap in with us as soon as possible. So, the Feast of Tabernacles will be hosted by God's Grace, Mercy, and Strength of Heavenly Father, using Servants of YHWH Ministries Incorporated, right down here in South Florida. Please contact us ASAP to begin your RSVP guest registration. All right. Contact us ASAP to begin your RSVP guest registration. All right, you can contact us via email at admin at servyhwh.info. That's ADMIN at servyhwh.info, or text us using the phone number 833-442-0848, 833-442-0848. All right, that's the email, that's the phone number. You can literally text that phone number. You can text the word tabernacles or the word tabs, and you'll automatically start your guest registration. Or you can just simply text the number inquiring of the guest registration, and someone will respond to you as soon as possible. All right, email us, text us as soon as possible. Let's get it rolling. Let's get it started. We would love to see you there by God's grace, mercy, strength, and his love as well by Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right. Also, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we encourage brothers and sisters to ask their questions. If you have a question, please ask your question, whether your question is on topic or your question is off topic. Whether your question is off topic or your question is on topic, please ask your question. And by God's grace, mercy, and strength, we will answer to the best of our ability, in which the Most High God does provide us. Let me see. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we encourage brothers and sisters to be taking notes. All right. We encourage brothers and sisters to be taking notes. All right. So if you have yet to do so, make sure you get your pens, your pencils, your notebooks, your highlighters. Most importantly, make sure you have your Bibles out. Make sure you are reading along with us. All right. If we go to the scriptures, of course, this is a current event update, particularly dealing with the brother Karmelo Anthony and the sister in Jacksonville, Asia Bennet. All right. If we can, let's go ahead and get hashtag Karmelo Anthony in the chat, hashtag Asia Bennet in the chat. All right. Hashtag Karmelo Anthony in the chat. Hashtag Asia Bennet in the chat. All right. Hashtag no distractions in the chat. All right. Let's go ahead and push those 3 hashtags out there by God's grace, mercy, and strength. All right. Again, make sure y'all hitting the like button, sharing the video, hitting the like button. All right. Hashtag Karmelo Anthony. Hashtag Asia Bennet. Hashtag no distractions. All right. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Before we get started, of course, big shout out to everybody getting us started on those super chats. Shout out to the brother Yamar Shan.
Because her beloved brother Yamar Shan, Yahabashim Yashabakata, want the water for your gents donation, continue supporting keeping that $1 drive alive. What is that? 7?
10
more times. The Water King.
Shout out to Richard.
All right. Shout out to our powerful brother Richard in the house.
Dean.
Oh, praise
Oh, praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. So far, we got up to 15 on the super chat goal. We got up to 15 on the super chat goal. That's right, man. Let's get that in the chat. Karmelo Anthony, hashtag Asia Bennet. You feel me? Hashtag no distractions, man. All right, let's pray to the Heavenly Father that he fight and avenge his people. He fight and avenge his people by his grace, by his mercy, by his strength. All right, not ours. All right, we must obey him. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that Karmelo Anthony, that brother, a warrior right there, bro. May the Most High protect him. I'm glad them brothers behind bars, they already put it out. Hey, this brother is not touched. He gets taken care of. All praises to the Most High. Lord willing, you know, hey, no matter how this goes down, you know, he could still appeal, Lord willing, the appeal goes through. But if not, I pray that he is definitely watched over by the Most High, and that time that he spends, that he'll be out before he's 34, and can get his life started correctly. But Lord willing, we're out of here before he turns 34, way before that.
Lord have mercy.
What's going on in the world?
Lord have mercy.
Look, America's enemies, they see blood in the water. They smell the blood in the water. They taste the blood in the water. It's literally, they're on the water struggling right now. Just look at their Navy. It's so sad. I can't believe this is even America anymore. Look, once we saw all those generals quitting, people should have, these other nations, they know what's going on. This is the best time for China to attack Taiwan. There's no better time. They'd be fools to wait any longer.
Who, Asia?
China.
You said to attack America?
To attack Taiwan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
China has the most powerful Navy, and America's Navy literally fell apart. Donald Trump is talking about building battleships style classes from between World War I and World War II era. Nobody uses those anymore. Why would you do that? He just likes to see a big gun. That's what he likes to see. And he likes to see a big gun because tell me a lot about that.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I like it. America is burning. Like literally, that's what's happening. America is literally burning.
Slap. Oh man. But yeah, man, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Look, Babylon is burning, man. That's right. All right, by God's grace, mercy, and His strength by Hashem Yahushai. Before we get started, we're gonna start with Asia Bennet. We're only gonna grab some clips from a press conference that was with her family, etc. Of course, this was, again, like I stated, something that happened in Jacksonville. All right. The claim that JSO made, right, which is the Jacksonville sheriff officers or something like that, right? What they said was Bennett had a large kitchen knife, ignored commands, approached the officer and was shot, attempted to rise and approach again and was shot again. That's what JSO claims. The family claims that witnesses dispute at least part of that description, particularly the claim that she attempted to rise and advance after the first shot. What we currently know is that the body cam should be capable of resolving at least some of this dispute, but the public hasn't seen it yet. So that's what we know, and those are the claims from both sides. Again, we're going to go over some of the clips from a longer portion of a press conference regarding Asia Bennet, and then we'll get into the Karmelo Anthony update, Lord willing. All right.
Did you see the 3 Northern Kingdom brothers that were standing there with their hands up in front of the cops, and the cops just shot one of them to death, and while they were shooting him to death, they shot another one of them, and they try to keep they ended up settling for millions of dollars. But then part of the deal was they were supposed to keep the body cam video hidden from the public. Why?
Oh, wow.
Why would you do that? Just let people see. If the cops messed up, they messed up. It's not like it's the first time it's happened. But now this is just something that all these police departments do. We pay all that money for them to have body cameras so that we can, have clarity on what's going on out here on these streets. But then they want to hide the video. It's just nonsensical. You already lost. Now you paid out all this money. See, the citizens paid the money to these families, to the family of the dead man, the family of the man that got shot, even to the gentleman that was just standing there. He didn't get shot, but still, that was extremely traumatizing for him to be there. So he got paid too for that. But now they want the video to stay hidden. Why? Because they could still file a suit against those individual police officers. And now that's what's coming out because they actually saw what actually happened on the video. There was no reason for them to be shooting at these men like this and killing that man. All of them unarmed. Wasn't even the people they were looking for. They were looking for a bike thief, and the people they were holding up, those are the people that were looking for the stolen bike.
Lord have mercy.
Madness. But they're Northern Kingdom, so they got to die. It is what it is. That's what King Solomon would have done. Go ahead.
Lord willing, this Saturday I plan on doing a bit of an extended documentation of what's going on in Puerto Rico, because man, Lord have mercy, just nobody is helping.
Sad. Yeah.
I
mean, what's going on with Haiti and the Haitians isn't much better either.
Facts.
Really bad.
Facts. What's going on in the Caribbean, South America, etc. Just remember, guys, not too long ago, the United States of America invaded Venezuela, and somehow that was supposed to help the gas prices. It didn't do anything for the gas prices. So what are they then doing with all that oil?
Not a damn thing. Not too long ago, what was it, 2021, I think? Americans sent in assassins to kill the president of Haiti.
Yep.
All that came out. Yeah, America, yeah, we did that. Then the gangs come in and take over the country. And and why? Because America went in there to purposely destabilize the country. That's all America's doing. Just destabilizing anywhere where there's Israelites. We're going to make it hell for these Israelites.
That's their job. That is literally their job. You understand? But let's go ahead. Let's get started on these videos right quick. Like I said, we're going to start with Asia Bennet and the press conference. We're only grabbing a few clips, all right, because it is an entire hour. And then we're going to jump into the update with the brother Karmelo Anthony. All right. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High.
Sent to you. Okay, you want to grab them, Isaiah? And the reason we talk about this, because we know, when you look at that black eye, this is a 98-year-old woman who is a domestic violence victim. And you would believe that the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office would protect her, not shoot her on what was a domestic violence call. And this is another photograph of her where he blackened her eye and caused her lip to be swollen and bruised.
So JSO gets a call. It's domestic violence. They show up, etc. Even if, realistically speaking, the pistol is literally last resort, regardless of whatever county you're a part of, whatever precinct or whatever the hell. Your first objective is always de-escalate. So let's say she was charging out the cops with a knife or some sort of deadly weapon that is being wielded in her hand. Obviously, it's not an automatic gun or what's the a semi-automatic weapon, right? It's a knife. They have another option prior to the pistol. You know what it's called? A taser. Right? If necessary, to stop her where she is. You understand? Especially, guess what? If there's distance already between us. But they went the extreme route. And again, she was the victim in the domestic violence call. So realistically, when they show up to this domestic violence call, their objective is to protect the person who is the victim. They have to protect the victim. Right?
I mean,
it takes very little thought. I mean, the amount of thought. That's why I know that these cops, that they're race soldiers. And then even the Israelites that work alongside these race soldiers, they're race soldiers also, because they're just trying to impress El Blanco. They're trying to impress the white man. They're trying to show, oh, we down with y'all too. Yeah, we can't stand these people either. They know who the victim is. Before they even go out to the call, they get details on what's going on. You know who don't get details on what's going on? People in the military. And you know who you don't see just willy-nilly just gunning people down out there in the streets?
The military.
Is the military. Because we know better than that. You don't just start, you see people, well, they're not, on our side.
Even in a way more hostile environment too.
In a way more hostile environment. I'm telling you, when you're in a combat zone, you might as well assume everybody's trying to kill me. And depending on what's going on in the situation, you could actually assume there's people on my side that's trying to kill me too. Right. Just ask people about fragging during the Vietnam War. How many officers got killed by their own soldiers, by their own Marines? Taking out officers left and right. You want to know why? Because these are young, incompetent people that are sending us out on patrols and doing things out there that they know is going to get us killed. Oh, you know you're going to get us killed? You're dying first. And then we're going to head the other way.
And really all that is for them is just, now they get to keep the money. A lot of this comes down to money. And like Shabachi just said, him and I and the brother Namar, we had a conversation with two JSO police this past Saturday, and we got to a point in the conversation that was talking about race and experience with racism. This JSO officer, this Jacksonville sheriff's officer, turned away from me, looked directly at Shapachi, and said, I'm going to ask you this question because I know you have experienced racism. Completely turned away from me. Cool. Let's say that it's due to the fact of my light skin, right? He then, watch this. Because, of course, I combated the response. He then asked me, not what is my race? He says, are you half black? As if only black people experience racism in America. Right? Now, you guys know I'm pro-Israelite, pro-black, pro-Hispanic, pro-Latino. Cool. But across the board, as a police officer, you should have the opportunity and ability of realizing, first of all, let's deal with the small hats. They have a whole entire term coined for them when you are being racist against them. And he immediately, in his mind, associated racism with only black people. You understand? Real quick, though, shout out to Brother Amariah in the building.
Of course, our beloved brother Amariah at the House of Amariah. Yahabashimia Shabakatam. What the Water for Nation continued support and keeping those jewels rolling in. The Water King. I don't know.
Yeah, that's I learned the system. That's equivalent to about $7. So all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. This is like 10 cents. Because I'm
look out.
Easy.
She is the victim, Sheriff TK, the victim.
Sheriff TK Waters, by the way, is the head of GSO. If y'all watched one of the most recent interviews that we did on the Servants of YHWH Ministries Incorporated, we had an individual speak who is an advocate out here in Jacksonville, speak about TK Waters and the things that he allows under his watch, etc. Some very vile instances and occurrences that have happened under his watch by his own personnel within the past year or more, or even recently in the past few months.
You'll hear from the family members about what the witnesses said. A witness who is familiar with Asia's abuse by this man, Joshua, what was his name? Joshua Eugene Davis, who there is a court order saying he is not to have contact with Asia Bennet. But yet, Asia is the one shot and killed by Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. A witness who is familiar with Asia's abuse by this man heard what had happened. They were neighbors. Sounds of Asia being beaten. all the commotion. When the one Jacksonville sheriff's deputy arrived, the abuser ran out of the home. We are told by eyewitnesses that Asia came out holding a knife, completely distraught, that she put her hands up and was screaming, "He beat me, somebody help me," as if she was disoriented. She was screaming and crying, and she walked out of the house, and she was shot by the deputy. And the witnesses say,
so JSO is claiming that she was advancing toward them when witnesses are saying she just walked out of the house. And if, you know, she's holding a knife, most likely in an attempt of protecting herself from the now assailant from the crime. You understand? Absurd.
See, and these are things that, like, even once again, back to the military, we know when somebody is distraught or confused or something's wrong. Why? Because we deal with concussions all the time. We deal with explosions all the time. We deal with incoming that's way too close to us all the time. That's why a lot of us have hearing problems. A lot of us suffer from traumatic brain injuries, CTE, from all the shock waves that we have to deal with. Just a lot of times from some of the large cannons or tanks that we're standing next to, when they fire off shells, those shock waves just rattle our brains. So you'll see that kind of 1,000-yard stare, that kind of dazed look in a lot of military veterans' eyes. That's where it comes from. So if we see somebody with that look in their eye, we know right away, okay, yeah, they're jacked up. Okay, they're messed up. You know what I'm saying? They're bleeped up. So how do we know that right away? These cops need, I can't even say they need better training, because these are kids out there in these combat zones with that kind of understanding. Teenagers, literally teenagers. There are some 17-year-olds that had to get waivers signed by their parents that I served next to. You know what I'm saying? So these are teenagers out there that understand these things on the fly and are making split-second decisions. Nobody's sitting there talking about, well, I got to make sure I make it to my family, home to my family first. No, all these lives out here matters, and we have people's lives in our hands. So we have to make the right decision in a split second. And if teenagers are doing that in a combat zone where the stress is way higher than some domestic violence situation where there's a little woman standing there looking confused with a knife in her hand, trust me, no Marine I ever served with would be freaking out at that point. As a matter of fact, we would be approaching her with gentle voices, with our weapons down. Hey, it's okay. We got you. We'll protect you. And we'll be walking slowly towards it. We'll put our hand on the knife and take the knife away from her. Hey,
right.
Let me get the knife. We have guns. We'll protect you. He's nowhere around here. Give us the knife. We got you. With no fear. Why? Because that is not a situation that you should be fearful of. They don't care. They're straight up murderers. Their first thought is murder. That's what's on their mind. That's what's in their spirit. And guess what? All praises to the Most High. He's making sure they get paid back for it. You saw what happened to Sonia Massey, the dude that murdered her? Talking about, the girl.
The lady with the pot?
Water, yeah.
Yeah.
And the dude shot her in the face. You see
I remember that. What happened to the guy?
He just died.
Oh,
guess what he died from? Ass cancer. It just does not get better than that, Rob. I mean, how many years have I been talking about people dying from ass cancer? And this POS just died from it. All praises, thanks, honor, and glory goes to the Most High God, Yahweh. That's all I got to say. The Most High is watching, and he going to get y'all. Y'all going to suffer. Y'all going to suffer for what y'all do. Oh, praises.
Shout out to Amariah real quick.
Of course, our beloved brother Amariah in the house. I am Mariah. Y'all bet you share a thumb. Walk the water. For your generous donation, continue supporting, keeping them jewels rolling in. The Water King.
God, shout out To Shapacha.
Crazy work indeed. And of course, our beloved brother Shapacha. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Water the water for your generous donation. Continue supporting you, also keeping them jewels rolling in. The Water King.
Shout out to the elders joining us. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High. Shout out to Zaquan Rapaya and Zaquan Dabara. Shalom to all beloved of the Most High. So looking toward the return of our Messiah. I'm done with this wicked place. Pray, pray, pray.
That's right.
God, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. I ain't gonna lie, that is crazy, bro.
Bro, that's crazy. And how about he was begging the judge before he died that they would release him, for medical reasons. Judge said, nah, you just sit there and you just keep bleeding out of your booty.
We're gonna move on to the next segment of the video.
Yeah. Trying to tell you, bro.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
She always just wanted to make people happy. She made excellent grades, graduated from high school. I never received, the only child I had, that I never received a call of anyone telling me she had, disrupted her classroom or anything like that. As Asia.
You know what's so crazy is that you actually have to mention these things as if it matters. Like, let's say she was a disruptive child.
Yeah.
What does that matter? In the sense of she was shot unnecessarily. And matter of fact, that just made me remember what I wanted to say about what you just mentioned about the proper technique of what a military officer would have taken. These people, right, cops, who are given deadly weapons, by the way, the type of training they receive, they are trained in hand-to-hand combat. They are trained on how to properly detain people. They are trained, they are supposed to be trained on how to detain people, hand-to-hand combat, and de-escalation.
Right.
So therefore, the weapon that is on your hip is the absolute last resort. And the comment that you made is so true. Cops are always, and people who attempt to defend these murderous people are always talking about, well, they have to get home to their families first. When you sign up to be a police officer, hell, when you sign up to be a goddamn security professional, you actually just forfeited your life to others. When you become a first responder, your life is last. As a security professional, someone who is not a police officer, not a first responder, not a firefighter, simply a security professional, even if you only have a regular security license. If the building is on fire, you are supposed to be the last one out of the building. That's regulation. You understand? Because you are you're expected to get everyone else to safety first. So how much higher is that standard for a police officer, for a firefighter, for a EMT? You understand? You signed up for this. You knew what you was getting yourself into. The same thing we tell people who sell drugs and get into gangs. Nigga, you knew what it was. Don't sit here and try to play crazy now, right? You knew that things like this could happen. And just like we see in these movies, what these detectives tell the scared little cops, look, nigga, if this ain't the place for you, go push papers behind the desk. Go take complaints. Soft, nigga, okay? Because that's where you belong. If you're scared of a little girl with a knife in her hand, go to church. Okay? That's I just remembered that. And again, speaking to this, like, why do I have to bring up how she behaved in school? Just don't shoot people. How about that?
Yeah, the court of public opinion is really disgusting. That a lot of times that's why they have to say things like that, because you know what the cops are going to put out there? Oh, well, we had to respond to this location several times, and one time, he had a cut on him because she was defending herself. Well, they won't say she was defending herself, but they'll try to spin all kinds of stuff about how bad of a person she was. Oh, one time we went there and she had a few drinks. She was drunk. They won't even say she had a few drinks. Oh, she was drunk. She was out of control. So we didn't know. They'll have something to throw out there just to skew the public's opinion in their favor. They're just disgusting.
Grew up and graduated. She had a lot of aspirations. She became a lash technician for cosmetology and wanted to do that on the side while she was in school to become an ultrasound technician. She wasn't someone who didn't have dreams and aspirations. Just like any other young woman, she did. And she was derailed when she began a relationship with Joshua Davis. Early in her relationship, just like any other young, tumultuous relationship, there were red flags, but Asia loved him. And Asia, being someone that wanted to please the people in her life that she loved, continued in this relationship. She would not be the first or last domestic violence victim that did not find it easy to just end a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's the nature of it. Anyone who ever has known someone or experienced it understands a woman attempts to leave many times. It's not just the violence and fear of a man that makes her stay, it's her love.
Exactly.
That's what makes it so hard and so sad.
Natural. Honestly, I mean, it's sad as it to say, it's not natural to just leave your lover like that. That's not like the Most High don't want that. The Most High wants y'all to be together. Don't want y'all beating the hell out of each other, but he wants y'all to be together, and that's going to be in a woman's spirit, is to be with her man, be with the person that she loves. She does not want to take on another lover. It's in her spirit to naturally, well, I laid down with this man, now I need to stay with him. That's the way that it's supposed to be. But you're not supposed to abuse people that already have that natural spirit on them to know that I'm supposed to stay with my lover. I'm supposed to stay with my partner. This is the natural way of things. We're supposed to stay together. This is what God wants. Yes, for us to stay together, but not for you to be beat to death or to be put in situations like this.
Again, even so, let's say that there was times he had to call on her, and then, you know, there's times let's say that was the type of relationship they had. The fact that we even have to have these types of conversations and have character conversations, etc., about the fact that police officers are killing people. Like, even if she was violent to the man she loved and he's violent to her, that has no effect on the police officer pulling the trigger. He's not getting his ass beat by her.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And again, if you're an officer in this line of work and you're that afraid of a knife and you know you have a 9mm pistol on your hip, I mean, come on, bro.
And you got a stab-proof vest on. I mean,
come on.
God forbid that knife does get on you. It's highly unlikely it's going to hit a vital organ. And best believe a little woman wielding a knife, trust me, I'll run full speed at her with a vest on, tackle her behind to the ground, and get that knife from her. Right. Best believe, with no issues.
See that? Salaki, hold on. Let me see. I think. All right, let's go to the next joint right fast. 3350.
And she reached out to me just 2-3 weeks ago and said, "Hey, I read it, and I'm making a roadmap for my life. Let's go get some lunch." Wow. I didn't get to have that lunch. Okay. Everybody in life goes through something where you know you've been around the wrong people. You get a chance to make a course correction. You change. Everyone usually gets a comeback story. We're never going to hear Asia's comeback story. So when I heard the news, I took my public servants at face value somewhat, that that's what happened. But immediately I knew Asia's never been charged with anything before. So that opened up a door for me to be open-minded on both ways. We even had to go to Asia's house and collect her belongings because we still feared the boyfriend could come back and take her personal effects. helps with some large stuff. My wife's gathering small stuff. And here are the people who witnessed it. I can't help myself. I'm going to ask, well, what happened? And they were more than willing to tell me. And I started noticing quickly, all of a sudden, this isn't really adding up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, maybe they were emotional. When the truth comes out, it's going to be different than probably everybody's original version, because that's a high, intense, emotional moment. All I know is the gentleman told me multiple times that he was kept for 5 hours in the back of a car with no relief, couldn't talk to anybody. And I said, well, what was, waiting for your turn? No, they kept coming back and asking the same things over and over. And I said, I'm going to tell the truth. You take that for what it means. To me, it meant a lot.
Wow, so they detained somebody on site and held him in a goddamn police car for 5 hours.
Sounds like it was one of the neighbors they were holding, like one of the witnesses.
Yeah, that doesn't even sound legal. You had to detain me. I didn't even do. What did I do? First of all,
what they did was illegal. So they're trying to get their story together before they go public with it.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Also, Tribe of Issachar. That's how they started as slave catchers. So the same ones that had on the white robes and the pointy hats and were in the clan, they're the same ones today that are judges and police officers and police chiefs and firefighters. There are firefighters out there that talk about how, if it's a bunch of black people in the building burning down, we're not going in there. They just gonna have to die.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolute madness. It's horrific the way that they treat the Israelites, and the saints are just dying in the streets every day. And the Most High sees this, and the gig's up, man. Time's up for these fools, and they know it. That's why they're going all out.
Facts, because it's been back to back to back to back to back to back to back stories of the hangings, the police shootings, etc. Like, man, it's just it's so much, and they're really attempting to, of course, stir us up so that we can start doing something and retaliating, so that they can have even more of a reason to continue unaliving us. Right. So that, again, hashtag no distractions in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. If we really want these things to stop, we got to obey the Most High.
That's right.
It's that simple.
That's the only way.
Right. All right. Let him fight for us. Let him avenge us. All right. By his strength, by his mercy, by his power. You understand? By Hashem Yahushua.
And
all right. Hashtag no distractions. Go ahead, Slocky.
And it's a great feeling to be able to, even in this horrific, wicked world, to be able to move through it with no fear, and to understand that me and my house, as long as we doing the will of the Most High, we all right. We don't have nothing. It doesn't matter how many stumbling blocks is put before us. We know the Most High is not going to put us in a situation that we can't handle. It's never going to be more than we can handle. Why? Because we have promises from our God, and he's a God that doesn't lie. He keeps all of his promises. Everything exactly the way that he said things would be for us. If we keep the law,
right,
it's exactly the way that he said it would be, even in this wicked world.
Right. Slocky, real quick, shout out to the elders.
Of course, our beloved Zaquanium, Yahabashim Shabakatam, want the water for your generous donation, continued support, keeping that $1 drive alive. What is that, 7 more times?
Con.
The water.
Family, we'll try to take some of your questions if you have any.
Mr. Trump, you've been involved in several cases related to JSO in the past few years. I'm curious, do you feel like the pressure you've been putting on the agency has resulted in any meaningful change? And what are the current status on some of your active cases?
We're in litigation in many of the cases where they keep shooting people and killing them. So I don't know how you can use that as a yardstick to measure if they are taking heed to the citizens saying that you killed my family member unjustifiably. But I will say this, we have to keep trying to shine a light to these victims who we see are being killed unjustifiably or being abused unjustifiably. We have to continue to shine a light. Sunlight is the greatest disinfectant to injustice. And whether the injustice destroys the family love that was so vibrant, it disturbs the family harmony because one of the brightest lights are taken from the family. It doesn't matter whether the victim was white, black, brown, or red, whether they were poor or whether they were rich, whether they were homeless or whether they were affluent. All we care about is the truth to be a teachable moment for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. And so the question is, how many more people have to lose their lives? How many more teachable moments do we have to have for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office before they learn the lesson that we shouldn't shoot first and ask questions later?
Right.
Attorney Lynch, you have anything to add to that? Okay. Thank you for the question. Any other questions?
I reached out to JSO this morning. They told me that it takes at least 21 days for them to release the footage. What is your response to that?
You know, the problem with that statement, and you all live here in Jacksonville, y'all know oftentimes if they have somebody committing a crime or somebody doing something nefarious or inappropriate, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office always release that video immediately if they got somebody doing something wrong, hurting a cop.
Julio Fulio killers, they had that video out immediately. As soon as they saw the video from the security cameras around the building, they had that out to the public immediately. Don't let it be body cam. Unless it's body camera that'll exonerate the cops, showing the cops in a great light. They'll have that out early. Facts. Nobody has to request that. They'll be delivering it to these different media outlets.
Right.
Here we go. Outside of that, the majority of the time, because they're doing something dirty or they're saying something dirty, showing their true colors, showing that they're racist, showing that they don't care about the civilian population, showing that their priority is themselves and everything else comes after them, that's not a public servant. And they'll tell you that they're not servants. Oh, your taxes don't pay my salary. Yes, it does. Oh, I don't work for you. I work for the city. You sound like an idiot. That's what
because you are an idiot.
Exactly. You're supposed to be servants. They have no idea what it means to be a servant, nor do they want to be servants, nor are they servants. They're there to, a lot of them are just straight up psychopaths. A lot of them are on steroids or other enhancement drugs to make them bigger and stronger. It also makes them very aggressive and crazy. And now you got all these psychopaths running around brandishing firearms and long rifles and shotguns, just acting a fool out there in the public. That's why they so quickly lose control as soon as they see a little conflict. Oh, everybody has to die first. Make sure I'm okay.
Right, exactly.
Okay, now I'm okay and they're all dead. All right, now let's see what happened. What? Absolute madness.
Facts. Real quick, shout out to the elder Raquam in the building. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High.
God, powerful brother.
You see? It's like
injuring a cop. That video is released. But when the cop kills somebody, when the cop uses excessive force against somebody, then they say, oh, we got to delay, hoping that you will forget about it.
Right.
Well, We're not going to forget about Asia Bennet. We're not going to forget about any of these citizens who deserve to have the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office protect and serve them, not shoot and kill them.
Jeez.
That's what Asia Bennet deserved, for them to protect and serve her, not to shoot and kill her. She, if anybody, as Krista said, I mean, it was so heartbreaking listening to Krista say that she was the person who was going through the abuse, who needed the help from Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. She needed a helping hand, not bullets. That's not what a domestic violence needs when the police, the guardian angel finally shows up and then they shoot the victim. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? And so they can release the video if they want to. The question that this family is asking is, what do they have to hide? That's the question we should all be asking. What does JSO have to hide? If the truth is on your side, release the video, Jacksonville. Release the video.
They're gonna settle up.
Asia's funeral is going to be Monday,
and then put it in the settlement that video should never see the light of day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would take the deal and then do the same thing that they're doing out west, because they'll still be able to get the video released. They could still sue and get that video released.
That's crazy, man.
at 11 a.m. You would hope that they would release the video before her funeral services.
Jeez.
To give the family some sense of peace as to what really happened. They reject Sheriff TK's version that she got up and was charging the officer again. We need to get the video and then match it up against the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office statement. They don't believe it.
I mean, regardless for the parents or not, just if you're willing to provide other footage, just provide this one. You know, like the brother said, if the truth is on your side, what you got to hide?
Best believe if she was charging at them with that knife, that video would have been out before anybody even asked for it.
Facts. Fox News would have been all over that. Black woman attacks white cop.
Exactly. Oh, they love that kind of coverage. Oh, they love that.
Man.
Oh, man.
These guys in blue, man, they're so awesome. They protect us. All right.
No, none at all. But Krista, Anthony.
I have received a phone call. I received 2 phone calls from a detective that is investigating this. And I pretty much got the same answers that they've given to the public, except for one thing. I was given an apology for the inaccuracy of Sheriff Waters' interview that he did. I was told the reason he was inaccurate is because all he can do is say the things that they give him when he arrives, even if it's not correct.
Sheesh.
Nigga, what? So, hold on.
He got access to the video.
So all I can do is lie to you because that's what somebody wrote down for me, because I have the inability of processing information in my own brain. But yet, I'm the head of the goddamn office of the Jacksonville Sheriff. I'm the head of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, but I have to say what other people want me to say. And that's why politics are another type of evil. They have to speak a particular way. They have to say particular words. And then when you ask them questions, they don't even really answer the question. They repeat the question, they'll say 1 or 2 words, and then they'll move on to another.
He's trying to protect himself because he's an elected official.
Mm-hmm.
He gets elected, so he's trying to cover his butt right there. Because when elections comes up, if anybody's running against him, best believe they're gonna bring this up. If this goes left, if he doesn't handle this right and get these cops fired. Was it one cop out there? It sounded like it was just one cop initially.
No, it was I believe it was 2 that showed up.
2?
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh.
And of course, after the shooting, I'm sure much more. Right. Real quick, shout out to the elders.
Of course, our beloved Zaquanium, Yahweh Shemir Shabakatam, Water Water Free Just Donation continue supporting keeping that $1 drop alive. What is that?
9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
14 more.
God.
14 more times. The Water family. Mm-hmm.
Ruled in 2005 case Town of Castle Rock versus Gonzalez that the police do not have a constitutional duty to protect individual people from harm. Wow. Even if a restraining order is active. Wow. Imagine that.
But I wasn't given an answer as to why he can't publicly
Salaki, guys.
correct his mistakes. I was only told that he arrives and they give him a brief report, sometimes inaccurate, and that's what he says. So that would be the only thing different than what's been released, is an apology for inaccuracies in his report.
And just to say that before you go to the next question, think about what she just said. No, Krista, stay right here. Think about what she just said. An apology for the inaccuracies. But he's the sheriff. He has such a big platform. When he says things, people believe him.
Right.
And so they should verify things before they say them. And if they find out it was inaccurate, shouldn't they have the integrity with the same platform that they came out to assassinate the character of Asia Bennet, to apologize to Asia Bennett's family for those inaccuracies? Right. Release the video. Release the video. Let us see what was accurate and inaccurate for ourselves. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So these types of videos, I mean, it's technically supposed to be available to the public, but it should be so available to the public that anybody should be able to go onto any police website and pull up any body camera. That's how it should be. It should be absolutely free to the public. But now they want to run all kinds of red tape. In some places, they even charge you to get copies of these videos or to be able to download the video. They're charging you. All of this should be free and open to the public. Of course, maybe some kind of 18-plus-year-old restriction, something like that when it comes to the website, so forth, so parents could put restrictions on their children so they can access it. But any adult that's living in this country should have access to these videos freely. That way nobody can say anything. Oh, the cops are trying to cover this up, cover that up. Be open and honest. If y'all messed up, y'all messed up. But they want to be able to have that ability to be able to control the narrative, hide things, skew things, make sure the truth doesn't come out. None of that is righteous. None of that is just. And that's one thing about our God. He is a just God. And I cannot stand the injustices that we see in this wicked world. It's one of the biggest things that I hate about this world. Like, even America wouldn't be as bad as it is if it were just. Treat people fairly. Treat people equally.
Right.
They can't even manage to get that right. That's why it all has to be destroyed and rebuilt.
Yes. So I asked specifically about the fact that he brought up the felony charges, and she said, well, he didn't use the words she was convicted. So to me, I felt like they were intentionally creating a narrative if they were also aware that Asia was not convicted, that it.
I don't care if she was convicted for being a violent gang member. That has nothing to do with why you shot her. Guess what? Because for all intent and purposes, if you haven't taken her information yet, you don't even know who she is. So you can't even say, oh, we were afraid because she has XYZ history. Because you don't know. You don't even know. So again, I really hate PR. These types of conferences sometimes, because the fact that I even have to answer a question or make a statement that, oh, the police sheriff, the head of the JSO, he was commenting on her felony convictions, and then we have to play the word game of, oh, well, he didn't say she was convicted. It was just, whatever the hell felony charges he said, excuse me, right? What does that have to do with your officer shooting her? Because when he pulls up, he doesn't know that she's charged with felonies. You'd have to collect the information first, and if he was afraid of her because of the knife, he didn't collect any information. Oh, Lord.
Had been an arrest, the charges were dropped, but in the moment, it felt like it supported the narrative they were giving. And so I was apologized to for that. Also for the fact that he made sure to say that Asia was a white woman that came out of the home. I asked about that, and then I was told, well, her driver's license says other. Other isn't white. So to me, those two things just felt like they were creating a narrative. What was the point in saying it if it was inaccurate to begin with? So to me, when I spoke with her and she was aware that they were inaccurate, I am grateful that she apologized to me, and I appreciated the apology. That's just not the person I needed the apology from, and not the platform, which is privately on my phone.
That is a good point, though. If you make a mistake publicly, you got to apologize publicly.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The same way that you're willing to embarrass yourself, you have to be willing to correct yourself. And that goes for us too. You know what I'm saying? Israelites, etc. When you do something wrong publicly to somebody, you have to apologize publicly. A lot of times, folks will do something completely wrong, and then they'll call the person privately and apologize that way, when realistically the same party or platform or what have you that the incident was committed in front of, that's who also needs to be apologized in front of, right? If you really want to fix what occurred. All right, like the civil rights attorney Ben Crump said, if you have integrity, decency, just release the footage. It's that simple, right? All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Those are the few clips dealing with Asia Bennet. Again, sister over here from Jacksonville who was shot by officers from JSO. All right. Hashtag Asia Bennet. All right. Hashtag release the footage. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep up to date with these things. We got to remind ourselves that, these things are happening due to our disobedience and faithlessness in the Most High. So the way to fix these things is to become obedient and faithful to the Most High. All right. Without any further ado, we will transition over to the Karmelo Anthony update. The Karmelo Anthony update, where the attempt to get another trial, etc., was denied. The original judge was kicked off, etc. All right. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High. Lord willing, this brother can either be released or something. You know what I'm saying? Get another trial by God's grace and mercy. I did forget to do this for the first video, so I'm going to make sure I do it right now. Servants of YHWH Ministries Incorporated, Servants of YHWH Ministries Incorporated, fair use notice. All right, fair use notice. This broadcast may include copyrighted material used for commentary, criticism, teaching, research, and educational discussion. Servants of YHWH Ministries Incorporated does not claim ownership of third-party content shown or reviewed. Right?
We just learned within maybe the last 10 minutes or so that the new judge assigned in the appeal of Karmelo Anthony has denied the request for a new trial. If you are not familiar with this case, it has really been consuming a lot of news since April of 2025, when Karmelo Anthony was accused of stabbing Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet there in Frisco. Fast forward to June of 2026, Karmelo Anthony was found guilty of murder, and he was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Here we are at the end of August of 2026, and he was appealing. He was first asking for the judge who set in on his original trial to be removed from the case. He was successful in that. And now this judge who's been assigned to listen to the appeal in this case has denied the motion for a new case. So just wanted to set the scene a little bit for folks who may not have heard everything we were saying off the beginning of this coverage. Keith, since you are still with us, I want to quickly ask you, I am looking at an image of the order that is denying the new trial, and it is 3 sentences long. Rebecca read it earlier. It gives no indication about why the judge did this or any sort of, it just simply says denied. Is that unusual, or is that what we should have been expecting?
We should have expected that. A lot of times it is just a signature granting or denying the motion for new trial with whenever you have these hearings. So the judge doesn't have to make findings of fact or conclusions of law or tell why he or she makes the decision that they did, or in this situation that he did. So that is sufficient. It just has to be in writing. Again, like I said earlier, I think a lot of this hearing was to lay out and develop the record that the appellate court is ultimately going to decide. Because in this situation, for a judge to grant the motion for new trial, he would have had to have found that the verdict was contrary to the law and the evidence. And again, that wasn't necessarily all of the hearing was about. It was also developing the record so that now the appellate court's going to get the more in the record from the potential constitutional violations, the right to a public and open trial, and then also the testimony and the evidence from why the defendant was deprived his constitutional right to testify based off of this agreement and everything. So I think that this hearing, from the evidence that was presented, for the judge to grant the motion for new trial, there would have had to have been additional evidence. But I think that this hearing was to develop the record, and now the appellate court's going to be able to make a determination whether or not there were constitutional violations and whether or not this evidence that is now in the record supports a new trial.
Yeah, Keith, there was just a lot of people that are going to be disappointed on the Karmelo Anthony side, because they felt that they had evidence that there was this gentleman's agreement between the prosecution and the defense, Bill Worski and Toby Shook, where they agreed that they were not going to bring character issues. So the questioning that was done by the defense, when it came to cross-examining some of the witnesses, they decided they were not going to get into Austin Metcalf's character. And a lot of times, obviously, that you don't get that into a trial, the victim's character. However, we learned in this trial that there were a lot of incidents involving Austin Metcalf and his brother, where there were allegations of racism and violence and bullying. And so, they're going to.
Now, this is where character is necessary because of the incident. Does someone have a track record of being aggressive? Does someone have a track record of being racist? Does someone have a track record of being of harassment? Right? Because if you have a track record and that is your character, Slakia, you said something?
It's a criminal activity.
Right, exactly. That's what they are, criminals.
Yeah.
Right? When you have those types of track records, it needs to be brought up and talked about in your character, Because guess what? If you did this to this individual and it just so happened this was the one that said, no, you're not going to bully me, and then you got what you were ultimately asking for, then it's justifiable. How about if you would have left him alone, he would have never won his book bag. You understand? Probably would have kept his book bag on his back. Right?
Be upset about this and obviously are going to still try to appeal this. So talk a little bit about that whole character issue and this gentleman's agreement and how unusual it was.
Well, again, I think that the unusual part to it was more, that both sides weren't on the same page, right? And so if it were in writing or something like that, maybe everyone has the same understanding of what it is. Again, I think with the hearing of all this, all this evidence is in the record now. And of course, people are going to have opinions and yeah, there's trouble spots for both sides to hear, and the information, the evidence that came out, whether it was regarding the Metcalf brothers or regarding Mr. Anthony, and all this these extraneous. And the purpose of this, when you're appealing a case from the defense standpoint, you have to ask for a new trial just to preserve it in the record. And so that was what the defense had to do. Again, they were developing the record. The appellate court's going to decide constitutional violations and things like that. This judge, his job was not to decide constitutional violations. That's why you don't have findings of fact of what he believed regarding that. But it is clearing the record up and laying the record so that the appellate court will be able to make a determination and make a decision based off of now the full record of everything and how it affected both sides.
But there was a lot of also information that came out about Karmelo Anthony and some violence in his past, as well as some racism in his past. And there were a lot of concerns also when you read some of the evidence that was presented. Do you think that you would want that before the jury, a new jury? Are they gambling on trying to get a new trial here?
Well, if there is a new trial, everything potentially comes back in, right? Or is at least subject to coming back in. You can see why, I could see why as an attorney, the defense would want to have some sort of an agreement that evidence not come in for your client. Whenever your client's accused of stabbing someone and there's text messaging earlier about stabbing someone, or if he stabbed someone that he would lick the blood off the knife, it's highly prejudicial to your client. And it's something that if it does come in the record, everyone will see how it plays out if there's a new trial. But I can see why the defense would not want that, because it is very prejudicial to your client.
Teresa.
So real quick, just to show you guys a little bit what's being talked about regarding this gentleman's agreement, like the gentleman just mentioned. This is an article dealing with the Medium from William Spivey, written 2 days ago, right? It says new information is coming out that we never saw during the Karmelo Anthony trial. It wasn't as if it wasn't known. The prosecution team and the defense attorneys, all white, decided to exclude the material because it might prove inflammatory in what was already going to be a heated trial. Some of the material made Karmelo Anthony look worse. He was allegedly stalking his ex-girlfriend, and he'd texted a photo of the knife legal to carry in Texas. So, if Amadazar sends me a picture of his rifles and pistols, that's not illegal, right? So, hey, look at this new weapon I just got. Who cares, right? He was allegedly stalking his ex-girlfriend, and he texted a photo of the knife legal to carry in Texas, eventually used to kill Austin Metcalf. Right-wing media is running with the new information about Anthony, portraying him as a violent thug who deserved the guilty verdict in his murder trial. What is barely covered is the material about the victim, showing he'd been accused of spray painting racist messages and engaging in threatening conduct. Metcalf had been accused of more than that, but that's for later.
That's criminal activity.
Criminal activity. Right? Very, very clear. Me being involved with a woman right, and earnestly desiring a woman, and then texting a picture of a knife that I own to someone I know, that's not criminal activity. That's a young man who loves another young lady and is texting a picture to someone he knows. Now, you know what is criminal activity? Spray paint. Just spray painting and that's vandalism alone.
But then
when
on the hate crime on top of it.
Exactly. So you got vandalism, and now we got a hate crime. So imagine that.
Keith and Rebecca, I know that for many people, it feels like the wheels of justice move very slowly in this nation. However, this feels like it's been somewhat of a fast pace when you consider
pretty fast.
In April of 2025, we got a conviction in 2026, and now we are.
Just imagine how quick this was and how slow Nolan Wells is.
Right.
Right?
They don't know nothing over there all of a sudden.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you know, and we have some of the top agencies involved.
FBI
niggas know what Saddam Hussein is doing in the bottom of a cave, but can't figure out what Nolan Wells and his homies was doing on an island in America. Come on.
Already hearing, this motion for a new trial. Let's talk about the process moving forward. Keith, if you would weigh in, when do we expect, we already know that the defense is going to appeal this ruling from the judge. When do we expect we might hear more about that appellate process?
Well, it's going to take time. I mean, there's going to have to be a record. The defense is going to have to get a record. I'm not sure if they have the total record of the trial transcript yet. Obviously, there'll be transcript and record from this hearing. They'll have to have time to prepare their brief and file their brief with the appellate court. The appellate court will have to look at it and go through it and determine if they want to have a hearing regarding it, if they'll make a decision without a hearing. And then it goes to one appellate court, the Court of Appeals, and then potentially the Court of Criminal Appeals, and then potentially could go all the way to the Supreme Court if they're. So there's a constant process of how far this ends up going or where this stops. And so I don't know the exact time frame of what that's going to look like because we don't know at what level it'll stop. So, but it will be a timely process. It is going to take some time. So, who's to say exactly how long that'll be?
Keith, some people are going to wonder what happens to Karmelo Anthony during this time. Does he stay in prison or is he released on bond? What typically happens in a case while you are awaiting the appellate court? Obviously, he's been denied a new trial, so that wouldn't really come into play, but he'll stay there. And then if he was granted a new trial, what would happen after that?
So my understanding is right now, since the motion for new trial was denied, he will go back to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice and be housed there. And depending on what happens with the appellate courts and the decisions there, that would ultimately dictate, what happens if something were to change. But until there's something new or it's finally decided that there is a new trial, finally decided it, and they get time there, then that'll kind of determine where he'll be housed. But until there's a final decision, I would assume that he'll just be back in the custody of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
Teresa?
Yeah. Okay, well, just to reset with everybody, if they are just now joining us, we got this word from Collin County within the last half hour that the judge who had been assigned to hear this appeal for a new trial from Karmelo Anthony and his legal team has denied that motion. What exactly does that mean? It means that he will not have immediately a new trial granted, but we do know that there will be an appeals process that could take quite a while, but that is what to expect moving forward. We know a lot of what came out in the last few days. I would just categorize it as ugly. I mean, it was just not, it was not pleasant to hear some of the things that we were hearing, Keith. And we know that a jury did not hear all of those things. From your legal perspective, are you surprised by the things that came out in the last couple of days from both sides? We knew there were explosive, really, allegations from both sides, things that both the Metcalf brothers and Karmelo Anthony were accused of that the jury never heard. Are you surprised by the things you heard over the last couple of days?
Yeah, I think I am. You think that these are 17, 18-year-old boys. There were a lot of extraneous offenses on both sides. And I think for that age, at that age, we can all say, well, boys are dumb, they're immature, they make mistakes, they do different things. I'll just say that I'm just surprised at the level and the number of just incidences on both sides, and the extraneous bad acts on both sides. That was the surprising part to me. Obviously, the racism or the incidents, the assaults and threats and knives and fighting videos and all of those things. I mean, it was just a lot for 17-year-olds. I mean, I just think that when you're thinking about maybe having a victim or a defendant that has some sort of bad acts, you think of maybe there's a couple, maybe there's one night that was bad for the person. But I just think in this situation, the thing that surprised me was just the volume of incidences on both sides.
Yeah.
So real quick, I'm gonna go over a few of the things so that we don't have to read the entire articles. This cracker boy, Lord have mercy. So the August 20 to 21 2026 new trial hearing exposed material about both Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf that had largely been kept from the original jury and public, because prosecutors and the defense had an informal agreement to keep character or background evidence out and focus on what happened during the track meet tent. Under the track meet tent, excuse me. That is what made the hearing so explosive. The important distinction is that some items come from court documents, police or school records, and extracted phone messages, while others are allegations or prosecutors' characterizations. They should not all be presented as judicially proven facts, just to be clear. The first one, this is what surfaced about Austin Metcalf. This is probably the revelation that generated the most attention. The court records reported by CBS, Texas, and testimony described Austin and his twin brother as having been involved in spray painting graffiti that included KKK, kill all black people.
But did you want the article on the screen?
This is not an article. This is just some of the stuff.
Okay.
But I can share.
I just wasn't sure if you wanted it up there and you didn't know, because you know how you do sometimes.
Yeah, facts. I just looked it up briefly on ChatGPT so it can be quick, right? So the racist graffiti incident is probably the revelation, bam. So included KKK, kill all black people, similar anti-black language, the N-word, Hail Hitler, and upside down cross. They reportedly received 12 months. Say it again.
Satanism, representing
right,
Satan.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They reportedly received 12 months of juvenile probation over the incident. So this is what they mean. This is what this means right here. There's a difference between allegations and prosecutors' characterization. So this is a documented event, an incident. They received 1 whole year of juvenile probation for these things.
They broke the law. They're criminals.
You understand? Karmelo's former trial attorney Mike Howard went further, testifying that material from Austin's phone painted what he called a pervasive picture of a racist outlook. So that is a prosecutorial characterization, right? That's his perspective of what he saw, including use of the hard R racial slur, continuing close to the time of the stabbing. Number 2, alleged repeated use of racial slurs. So this is alleged. CBS Texas reported that school records documented. Oh no, this is school record. Oh, this is what he does at school. Right. This is what he does regularly. Right? Reported that school records documented multiple incidents involving Austin using racial slurs, and that in 2023 he was accused of bullying a black student.
So he finally found the right one. And now everybody's surprised he found the right one.
Exactly. Who just, happened to have something in the book bag. You know what I'm saying?
Is he?
That became politically explosive because the public debate around this case had already been heavily racialized. But there's a major caution. I have not found credible evidence establishing that Karmelo knew about Austin's prior racist conduct before their confrontation. Whether Karmelo knew about it or not doesn't mean anything, right? Because if he was met with that type of energy,
right,
now he knows. Number 3, fighting, aggression, and assault allegations. The newly discussed records also portrayed Austin as having a more significant disciplinary or violent history than the public initially knew. You know what's interesting is his dad wasn't talking about these things when he was calling Karmelo Anthony's family names.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that, right? CBS reported allegations that included an elementary school incident resulting since elementary school,
bruh.
Come on, bro.
But from the womb, he was acting a fool.
Right? An elementary school incident resulting in Austin being taken into custody after an alleged assault. A 2024 incident in which he allegedly knocked a female So this is recent.
Yeah. He basically a grown man right there beating up some female. Bro, come on, man.
Because he's a football player, so he's strong.
Middle linebacker. It's a whole linebacker. He take down running backs. He be blitzing the quarterback. He be having to run through the offensive line at times.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas, the 250, 300 pounds, he got to get through them to get to the quarterback. Come on, man. And he beating up little girls. And if he comes around with the kind of aggression that you could tell that he has, trust me, Rob, you know how I am. I'm reaching immediately. No, I'm not going to fight you. You're way too big and you're acting crazy. So guess what? You mess with me, you're going to find out. You're going to find out the same way you did. Bro, this is madness, man.
Oh, Lord. These white people, man. Salaki, let me go. Right here. A 2024 incident in which he allegedly knocked a female student down and punched her in the stomach. Being removed from a football game and later texting that he was about to beat up other kids. At a previous track meet, responding to another student's complaint about someone behind the bench by reportedly saying, "Kill that mother effer." Multiple school disciplinary incidents, counseling on several occasions concerning anger, rage associated with football. A suspension connected to discussion with another student about bringing a gun to school.
Bro, this is a menace to society. The world is a better place right now. Telling you.
That matters because one simple public characterization of Austin as a kid with essentially no history of aggression becomes harder to sustain. And of course, legally, this doesn't necessarily prove a self-defense claim, but this is evidence that you could have used in the defense to demonstrate the character of Austin and therefore the necessity of Karmelo to defend himself.
Yeah, and also his demeanor. Look, just by hearing all of that, I know that person. I know his exact demeanor. I know exactly how he was acting when he came aggressively up to this young man. I see it all in my head just by seeing that. Oh, yeah, I know this guy. I've seen these people before. I know exactly how he was acting. It would be enough for anybody that's sensible to know, hey, my life is in danger right now. I need to defend myself. It's fight or flight right now. Period. And whatever you do in a situation like that, it should not be held against you. Nobody should be coming at you aggressive like that. They shouldn't.
Right.
Unless you're causing a problem, which he wasn't causing any problem at all. It's just a kid trying to get out of the rain. Leave him alone. And you wouldn't be 6 feet under right now. Just leave people alone, man.
Right.
Sheesh.
Now, because of course we do have to be fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's name some of the things what surfaced about Karmelo Anthony. The state then produced what CBS described as a roughly 75-page character dossier concerning Karmelo. And some of this was extremely damaging. So now, all of a sudden, they have more information on Karmelo than they do Austin, right?
75 pages. Lord have mercy.
Imagine that. Save the trees, man.
You see?
It says his girlfriend allegedly reported being afraid of him hours before the stabbing. According to prosecutor Bill Wursky, less than 2 hours before the fatal encounter, Karmelo's girlfriend told an assistant principal that she was afraid of him and that he wouldn't accept the end of their relationship. Kara reported the allegation as her saying he wouldn't take no for an answer. CBS reported prosecutors alleging that she described a behavior, including Karmelo driving by her house and refusing to allow her to end the relationship. That timing is why prosecutors characterized Karmelo as potentially being spoiling for a fight that day. So now they would have. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you know how many young ladies that I've broken off the relationship with that have come at me like that? The amount of phone calls, the begging, pleading, crying, grabbing onto me, holding onto me, literally holding onto my leg as I'm trying to like get away. I'm telling you, come on now. You know how young love is. Trust me. Do you think that I'm looking at all of these young ladies like, oh, this is just dangerous. She's not taking no for an answer. I'm trying to break up with her. It's the worst thing in the world. You could really spin it that way if you really wanted to.
Right.
But you gotta also see the reality of it. Well, I've dealt with that dozens of times. You know, so I understand what it means to really be in love with somebody. I remember having some crazy. I told some stories on here about something that I almost did over a girl. We're not going to talk about that right now. And it ended up being an Edomite that talked me out of it. All praises to the Most High.
See that? Donkey.
Exactly. Old donkey.
Right. And just for the record, this is also the same woman that says she misses Karmelo and loves him. Just saying.
You see?
And then furthermore, legally speaking, they would have to subpoena this assistant principal to corroborate this allegation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So number 2, the when I stab somebody message. This may be the single most sensational Karmelo revelation. Prosecutors produced a message attributed to Karmelo in which he allegedly wrote about eventually stabbing someone and licking the blood from the blade. CBS reported that as part of messages extracted from his phone. That does not establish that he planned to stab Austin Metcalf specifically, but prosecutors could obviously argue that such a statement undermines the image of someone with no prior fascination with knife violence, right? I would have to see the context of this message. See, this is the thing. You notice I want to. They're picking out text messages between teenagers. First of all, teenagers are retarded. All right, these are children we're talking about. You know the difference between what this is versus someone who was actually arrested for
and did probation
for a whole entire year.
Mm-hmm.
You understand, as a child, in order to get probation for 12 months, there needs to be precedent for that. I had ounces of marijuana on me and got probation for less than 3 months.
Right, I'm telling you. Slap on the wrist.
You understand? So clearly this was a habitual thing that Austin Metcalf had. You get 12 months probation as a youth or juvenile due to habitual offense.
Exactly. And right? You're Caucasian? They went. That's going light. If that was a black brother doing that, first of all, you're getting charged as an adult.
Right.
Prison. That's where you're going. Ain't no probation. You're getting locked up with grown ass men.
Ain't no damn school program. Nigga, nah. Number 3 for brother Karmelo Anthony. Alleged threats against his girlfriend.
All alleged.
Right. CBS reported prosecutors saying that Karmelo repeatedly sent threatening messages to his girlfriend, including a threat involving bullets to her chest, another threat to get her and a separate alleged knife threat. Again, those are extremely damaging character allegations, but they weren't evidence the original jury used to decide what happened under the tent. And just for the record, the difference is these are passionate things right here, not justifying him talking to a young woman this way.
Right.
This is passionate, whereas the other is hate crime.
Right.
Even the Bible divides the two. If you have intent of malicious and violent behavior towards someone, you are now worthy of being unalived. If it's passionate or accidental, those are things to be considered. Even the Bible divides them.
Yeah, it sounds like he didn't act on any of these thoughts. And trust me, I've had all of these thoughts that they're showing about him. I personally have had all of these thoughts, and a whole lot worse.
Especially in high school.
Exactly, especially as a teenager, as a complete idiot. I've had every last one of these thoughts, and a whole lot worse. Never once acted on them. Never once put my hands on somebody. Never once got aggressive with somebody like that. Not once. It's one thing to have those thoughts. It's one thing to talk about something. And you're a stupid kid, so everything is over the top for you. You look at somebody like I Show Speed. I Show Speed is just over the top with everything, just crazy over the top with everything. And who are all of his fans? Who's attracted to his content? Who's the millions of people that watch him? It's all a bunch of kids. It's always so extra. Like even Melina has me watching anime now. Everything is just so over the top and extra in anime. That's why these younger folks and kids grow up on it and really love it, because it's just so over the top and just outlandish. That's the thought process of young people. They don't act on it though. They might have those thoughts. The ones that act on it, they'll show it. They'll show that aggression. They'll beat up some little girl in elementary school. They'll harm some kitten. They'll harm a puppy. They'll harm some animal. They'll start graffitiing and spray painting the things that how they really feel and the things they want to do. They'll start publicly expressing it like that. You didn't see any of that with this young man, but you saw it with Metcalf. It's a huge difference. It's one thing to think and act like a teenager, to think and act like a child, and then it's another thing to actually act on those feelings or those thoughts that you're having and actually bring it into fruition. There's a big difference between thinking, man, I want to just kill that MFer, and there's another thing where you start putting your hands on that same person. You start bullying that person. You start hurting other people because of whatever pain or hurt that you're going through. Now you're going to physically assault this person over here. There's a huge difference.
Real quick, shout out to the brother Amariah.
Of course, our beloved brother Amariah in the house of Amariah. What the Waterford General Donation continues supporting keeping that $2 drive alive. What was that?
8 more times.
8 more times. The Water family.
Chief
and of
Sister
course, our
Tanya.
beloved Chief Sister Tanya in the house. What the Waterford General Donation continues supporting keeping that $1 drive alive.
8 more times also.
8 more times and keeping that $2 drive alive. 1 more time, asking for prayers from my job. Of course, Chief Sister Tanya, as always, praying for you daily.
Chief Sister Tanya says, family, my job is trying to separate me again. Last year, I went through the same thing, and I took all the necessary actions, praying for favor. It's very stressful. Thawada, absolutely, Chief Sister Tanya.
You already know. Most High had you last time, you're going to have you again, Lord willing.
So this is the fourth thing that was major against Karmelo Anthony. It says prosecutors produced messages attributed to Karmelo Anthony in which he allegedly described liking to punch people, seeing red when angry, blacking out when angry, difficulty controlling himself, punching people in prior fights, prior school suspensions for fighting. That is probably the foundation of the prosecution's claim that his phone showed a documented pattern involving guns, knives, and fighting.
Where's the guns and knives? I guess I can understand the fighting, but what? I mean, I can't even tell you how many fist fights I was in school. Never got in trouble for it. But
this is the thing. They're just saying that, oh, he was fighting. We see why Austin got into fights, but they're not mentioning the purpose of these fights.
Yeah.
When you get into a fight with someone, both parties get suspended. So if he runs up on me and I get caught and we're both fighting, we're both getting in trouble, even though he was the aggressor. Doesn't matter. So just being suspended for a fight, there's no specifics here the way there is with Austin, identifying the fact that, again, like Amadazar was saying, he's acting on the things on how he feels inside, his hate, his aggression, etc. Right? Number 5, the alleged school shooting text. CBS reported a 2023 conversation in which Karmelo allegedly wrote words to the effect of, he would shoot up the school the following day, referencing a gun. So this must be what they're talking about, involving guns. Not that he actually has them, but he referenced them.
Okay, I've taken guns to school.
Again, I need to say,
I was just exposing them.
I need to see the context of these conversations, because there's plenty of things. Again, we're talking about teenagers, and again, he's texting. We need to see the context of these conversations, because imagine if this all is a part of a joke, or not allegations, but rather like how kids come up with stupid ideas, etc., and he's responding, "Nah, not me. This is what I would do."
Kids say so many stupid things like that all the time.
What do you call those?
Stupid things to the school that they're not supposed to. I remember being at Dade Christian and seeing one of them white boys bring a hand grenade to school. Guess what? Me, as a child, not even concerned. Why? Because kids are stupid. Oh, you have a hand grenade? Oh, that's interesting. Now, as an adult, if one of my kids told me, or grandkids told me, oh, one of the kids had a grenade at school today, I'm going crazy. You know what I'm saying? But as a child, it's like, oh, that's just Tuesday. White guys always have hand grenades. They're always doing something weird. I remember they used to always have knives, hand grenades, other stuff like swords, katanas, the things that they would bring to school at this damn near all white school, the things that those kids would bring to school. So trust me, I remember being a kid and seeing these things, and yeah, it's 99% of the time nothing's going on. I don't think there's ever, and the same school I went to, I don't think there's ever been any kind of school issue like that, school shooting, had to, clear everybody out of the school, anything like that at Dade Christian. But there were still, if the faculty knew what was going on, what the kids are bringing into the school, Lord have mercy, the drugs, all kinds of stuff.
Again, you know what? But everything they got on Karmelo is shit he's texting about.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, you can put, especially if you're taking messages from whole entire conversations, you can find some crazy things in a lot of people's phones. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make them murderous.
Exactly.
Right? So ultimately, though, it's not simply, oh, Austin was racist or Karmelo had violent texts, because both sides had serious character evidence, and the jury heard neither side of it, of course, right? And if Karmelo originally planned to testify, his former attorneys testified that they expected him to take the witness stand and personally explain why he believed he acted in self-defense. But after the disagreement regarding the character evidence arrangement and what cross-examination might open the door to, Karmelo ultimately did not testify.
I mean, looking at the character evidence, if I was his lawyer, I would have wanted all of this out there.
Realistically, because if you're going to argue against me that I'm violent because of text messages, yet your person was actually arrested and taken out of school and reprimanded multiple times, and it's documented,
convicted.
Nigga, who cares about my text messages? I didn't do any of those things.
Yeah.
Right?
Stupid teenager acting stupid, writing stupid things. like they always do.
So think about this, right? Suppose you're sitting on that jury and you learn Austin had a documented history involving racist graffiti, slurs, fights, and aggressive conduct, but you also learn Karmelo had messages about guns, knives, fighting, threatening his girlfriend, and eventually stabbing someone. Does that make Karmelo's self-defense claim stronger, weaker, or does none of it change what happened underneath that tent? It all changes. These pieces of information can sway juries because, again, if we talk about the character, the type of person you are, it's going to determine what actually occurred, right? And be able to fill in the missing pieces that others really don't have the information for, right? But that's ultimately it. Again, a quick update regarding Brother Karmelo Anthony, and then also, of course, demanding justice for Asia Bennet. Let's get it again in the chat. Hashtag Karmelo Anthony, hashtag Asia Bennet, and of course, hashtag no distractions.
Yeah, and remember, brothers and sisters, that by keeping the laws of God, that'll keep us away from all of these horrific things that we keep seeing happening to and around our people. It will give us that hedge of protection. The Most High will be there for us. That's all he asks us to do. Hey, do what I told you to do and you'll be all right. That's all we have to do, keep these commandments. And yes, our young brother Taz, we know that there are plenty of outliers out there, and there's a bunch of great kids out there. You're one of them. We really appreciate you and love you, bro. And we know that you're not like either one of these other young men that we're talking about here.
God. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
That's right.
All right. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and start spamming the prayer hand emojis in the chat. Let's go ahead and start spamming the prayer hand emojis in the chat. Of course, we are praying for our people. We are praying for our land. We are praying for our land, and we are praying for our people, praying for physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, agricultural, financial health with stability. And of course, we are doing so by Hashem Yahushai. All right, starting off with our elders, we have Zaquan Rapaya, Zaquan Dabora, Zaquan Deshaun, Zaquan Brother Douglas, Zaquan Yapaja, Zaquan Brenda, and Elder Priest Zabak, Chief Sister Tanya and her family, her Aunt Angel, her daughter-in-law Marquita, her sons Cameron and Dewan, Chief Sister Princess Erica and her family, her brother Tazama, her brother Eric, her son Jalen, and her daughter Sister Holly, Chief Sister Dione Israel and her husband, her son Jaden, June Angel, and his wife Anna, Brother Magan Israel and family, Sister Mayatazak and family, Sister Nayana and family, Azariah and family, Brother Mayasha Allah's Ribs family, Ali Yeshai's family, Tonio and family, J Dubs and family, Lahag and family, Papa and family, Yamar Shan and family, Sister Tiara and family, Yolanda Caesar and family, Brother Hazah's mother, Brother Nashah's mother Heidi, Hosea Israel's mother Elizabeth, Brother Amariah's grandmother Daisy, Brother Namar and his mother Edith, Brother Jay and his mother Iris, Chief Sister Allah Aisha's father Mark, the house of Matthew, the house of Quatizabala, the house of Shemaiah and family, Cadiz and Disla family, Brother Tazahab's daughter Tiffany, Chief Sister Tanya, Chief Sister Princess Erica, Chief Sister Teresa, Chief Sister Shalimar, Chief Sister Dione Israel, Chief Sister Melina, Chief Sister Princess Allah Aisha, Chief Sister Charity, Chief Sister Romanica Wade, Sister Edna, Baby Annalise, Sister Sharon, Colette, Collier, Masharah, Darrell, Saparia, Perez, Hadassah, Laela, Mila, Katana, Jay, Kayal, Layla and family, Masala, Tati, Aaliyah and family, Sister Lilibeth, Adriana, Kwane, Adani, Melina, Kayla Duckworth, Michaela, Juanita, Bianca, Mariah, Izaria, Azariah, Roxy, Clarissa, Cheryl, Tracy, Donna Epps, Ashley, Sierra, Loretta, and Christina, Nakwa, Summer, Desiree, Evelyn, Leandre, Nevea, and Sister Rochelle, Brother Willie, Karmelo Anthony, Zarak, Jeremiah, Adorium, Yawasap, Luke, Iwa, Joseph, Naquam, Chief Priest Alazar Button Lawyer, Priest Akal, Brother Hassad, Brother Atazvione, Avi, Wedin, Jay, Amatazalab, Kawapam, Patrick, Yawanathan, Abfa Pender, Meshach, Isaiah Allah, Nakash, Paris, DeMarco, Quinton, Juan, Banya, Amariah, Gawad, Kashayah, Rapa Allah, Tribe of Issachar, Mahar, Cordell, Famous Richard, Aisho Speed, Kai Sanat, Rob, Jesus, Ayara, Tawash, Gamaria, Ant, Mayak Allah, Hayaman, Aina, Dakar, Isaiah, Raquam, Dugar, Yaquab, Quadar, Joaquim Jones, Nagai, Thabawan and Son Nathan, Zaram, Sayad, Aliyah, Tazayar, Tazar, Abayar, Rakawam, Alizabad, Ashaya, Kananaya, Kapayar, Joe, Dwayne Scott, Vincent, Zion Rakad, Jaden, Kylan, Nakwai, Sha'ar, Amawan, Arayala, Ahazaya, Rawatazah, Korabia, Kanaya, Allah, Lama, Allah, Gazar, Gazai, and daughter Ayani, Jonathan Montague, King Katora, Quatazah, Yasiel, Moses, Ramamoth, Abraham, Zion, Shashawan and family, Brandon Green and Ayer Green, Deshaun Robertson, Christian Navarro, Yadi, Jaquez, Yatab, Shapacha, and daughter Ariana, Sharian, Shariad, Ashdath, Aliyadad, Tony, Jose Israel, Tazawar Allah, Yakal, a warrior, Alan, Nakama Tazalim, Alan Cupid, Gawanya, Azanai, Hassan, Alan Arusco, and Brother Tyrone. Some of the camp schools and ministries we have Sakari, the Light of Zion, Sons of Thunder, Watchmen for Israel, Gray Millstone, House of Bread, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, Israel United in Christ, Genesis Israelites, House of Israel, the Masada, the Refiners, Gibborim, Alpha Omega Clan, Ram Gadal Gabarium, Believers of the Way, Sons of Jacob, Hebrew Excellence, Jeshurun Camp, Living Waters, Servants of YHWH Ministries Incorporated. Most certainly not least, the land of Israel itself, from the Nile to the Euphrates, from the Euphrates to the Nile. We are praying for our people. We are praying for our land. We are praying for our land. We are praying for our people, praying for physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, agricultural, financial health with stability, and doing so by Hashem Yahweh. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and start spamming the wolf emojis in the chat for Chief Sister Melina putting in the hard work over there, Hebrew Kids TV. Let's spam the wolf emojis in the chat for Chief Sister Melina putting in the hard work over there at the Hebrew Kids TV.
The tree's wisdom. So she did eat and gave one to Adam so that he could eat. After they both ate, their eyes was open and they saw their nakedness and heard a loud noise. It was the voice of God walking in the garden. So Adam and Eve hid themselves from God among the trees in the garden. Then God called Adam looking for him, and Adam said he was afraid because he was naked. God asked him, how did he know he was naked? Did they eat from the tree he told them not to eat from? Then Adam blamed Eve for giving him the fruit. So God questioned Eve, and she blamed the serpent. Then God cursed the serpent, saying, on his belly he shall go, and dust shall he eat. God cursed Eve, saying, she would be greatly multiplied in her sorrow, and it will be painful to give birth to children. All her desires will be her husband, and he will rule over her. He also cursed Adam, saying, because he listened to Eve, cursed is the ground, in sorrow will he eat. He will have to work until he dies.
Oh, goodness.
Adam named his wife Eve because she was the mother of all things. God made them some clothes and kicked them out of the Garden of Eden, where they shall never return. If you haven't done so, please hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment letting me know how these videos are going. I just want to give all praises and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh. I
Hold on,
do so in the
Shamara.
name of his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, and say Shalom.
Shalom.
All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai. All praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh. We give that praise, that honor, that glory in the name of his only begotten son of Mashiach Yahweh Shai. All right. Again, the water to everybody joining us here. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, sharing the video, hitting the like button. All right. Big shout out to everybody who helped us reach that goal. All right. Big shout out to everybody who helped us reach that goal. Again, tap in with us to come keep Feast of Tabernacles September 24th to October 2nd. Email us, admin@servyhwh.info, ADMIN @servyhwh.info, or text us using 833-442-0848. 833-442-0848. Tap in with us. Okay, I must and I will say, without any further ado, Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Until next time, shalom.
All right, brothers and sisters, as always, it's an absolute honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to be gathered here together tonight in the name of the Most High God, Yahweh. That's why we're here. We love our God. We love to serve him. We love his law, statutes, and commandments. We even love his judgments, because that's what a good father does to keep his children in order. And it's an absolute honor to be in service to you Israelites out there, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, God's chosen people. It's high time we return to our Heavenly Father, keeping all of his law, statutes, and commandments, which includes faith in our Lord and Savior, Hamashiach Yahushai, who the world calls Jesus Christ. And with that, we'll say, Kal Halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, and say Shalom. Ahabatham, Israel. Love y'all. Love you more, Sister Tanya. Shalom.
By my mouth
Read.
should hear the word of the gospel and believe.
So Peter said, that's Peter speaking.
But did Peter say he was going on the mission?
Yes,
No,
yes.
he didn't.
It's demonstrated.
He said that by his mouth, because he was the
and it actually happened.
Hold on, brother. Because by his mouth, God gave him the permission to send the message to the Gentiles. He did not send the message.
Yes, he did.
No, he did not, brother.
Yes, he did. Go to Acts 10.
In Galactic.
No, go to Acts 10. Yes.
When he spoke to Cornelius?
It wasn't just Cornelius.
Bro, when he went to Cornelius' house and God gave him the dream. Am I correct?
Yes.
And when God gave him the dream, he said, you eat what I tell you is clean, because you telling me what is clean is unacceptable. And you know what I'm talking about, right?
I'm familiar.
Okay, so the first time.
And it was talking about people.
It was talking about people.
Yes.
Yeah, damn right.
And he went on to not only speak to Cornelius, he went to speak to other people as well.
Go to Galatians 2, it tells you who Cephas was supposed to be talking to. Who was Cephas?
But Galatians 2 doesn't happen for a while after.
Time.
No, it's not.
Oh, bro, wait till you study. Galatians 2.
I know the timeline of Acts.
Okay.
I've taught the timeline of Acts.
Acts 15 is the exact same time as Galatians 2.
No, it's not.
Go read it. I guarantee you, when you read it, it's going to give you the same dispute that they're reading about in Acts, that Luke wrote about.
No, it's not.
Paul wrote about it in his own account.
Brother, Andrew, you say you live in Dallas. How about this, right? Because obviously this is not something we can dispute right here, right now. I do have sources, but I can't hold you to that same standard. You out here to have a good time. But I promise you, if we were to sit here and have to go back and forth,
I think the time difference is between Acts 2.
It's a solid 10-year difference between Acts 15 and Galatians.
So you think Paul had been preaching for 25 years?
Your timeline of Acts is way off.
Okay, what time do you think he had been preaching before he gets to James and Paul and Peter in there?
In Acts 15?
Yeah, because this is a council. He went to the council.
It's before 70 AD.
He and Barnabas.
It's before 70 AD. It's definitely before 70 AD.
Okay, so you're saying that's before Galatians 2, because Galatians 2 is
Acts 15. Acts 15 is I would place Acts 15 after Galatians 2.
Why?
After the letter of Galatia.
Why?
Because we see that the purpose of Acts 15 is that there's a rumor about Paul going around that he's telling people not to be circumcised and not to keep the law of Moses.
That's what he clarifies into.
So listen, if he wrote that in Galatians and then he comes to Jerusalem because there's a rumor going around that that's what he's teaching is to disobey Moses, and the purpose of Acts 15 is to clarify that he's not doing that, Galatians 2 has to happen before Acts 15.
Why wouldn't it happen after?
Even shows a 10-year difference between Acts and Galatians.
Oh, your book does that. That's right. Matter of fact, his book does that. Show that to him. I totally forgot about that.
It's estimated Galatians was written between 49 and 55. Acts is estimated to be written between 61 and 62.
So, but that doesn't mean they're two separate accounts. And you said between 16 and 63?
61 and 62.
Okay, so when was the other one?
49 to 55.
Okay, so you think because they were different times, they had to be different accounts?
No. That's not what we were just talking about. That's not what we.
But you were, okay, well, what I'm saying,
the whole argument was that
the same accounts.
I never said they were different accounts.
Well, no, I'm saying they're the same accounts. Paul is telling you what happened in his perspective, and Luke is telling you what happened in his.
Acts 15 has nothing to do with Galatians 2.
Oh, that's wild. I don't know. Okay.
Acts 15. But if you would, when you have the ability, like when you get back home, whatever, I would love to talk about that with
Tell
you.
me where you think a separation might be.
The Acts 15
is the same dispute that he's having with James and them in 2:15.
No, it's not.
But in 2, he's telling you.
No, it's not. Acts 15 has to do with a rumor that's going on about Paul.
No, they're having an actual council.
Read Acts 15.
No, they're having a council.
Just read it. Just read it. I don't have to go back and forth because I know what it says.
So you don't think they're having a council meeting?
I didn't say that. You're literally not listening.
I'm asking you.
They are having a meeting about a rumor that's going on around about Paul.
All praises to the Most High. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.